Last night was full of surprises. My mysterious employer wants to have me killed, and the king could have me arrested. My only chance of escaping is to get my hands on the notebook and the secret it contains. And whether it deals with the Philosopher's Stone or other things, it's a much coveted object. Once I get hold of it, I'll be better placed to bargain for my salvation.
Come quickly, Valdo. I've got to talk to you. It's most urgent. Guards are taking up position in the garden. Whoever hired you must think you intend to double-cross them and has decided to prevent it.
Hired? What are you talking about?
Valdo, the king and I are very good friends. He told me of your discussion last night. You're in great danger. They must imagine that you've already laid your hands on the codex or the stone, even if unfortunately it probably doesn't exist. The guards must think you've gone. It's your only chance to get away.
Isn't there any way to stop them? You're the king's friend, aren't you?
Quite, but it doesn't always make things easier for me. With François gone, I have little support at Amboise, and the Queen is the last person to help me. Nonetheless, I should be able to prevent them from entering the manor, though I'm afraid it'll be more difficult for the garden. You'll have to be very careful if you want to escape.
According to the map, Leonardo hid the manuscript in front of the manor. It isn't easy to reach the area with all these guards. It doesn't seem very logical to hide such a precious notebook outside at the mercy of the weather. Something's wrong. It seems that Leonardo's having fun sending me round in circles.
Sir, what's happening? The garden's been invaded by guards.
You mean you noticed? I wouldn't have thought you'd be surprised by such news.
Pardon?
Don't try and deny it. I found a message ordering you to keep a watch on me. Tell me, Satana, how much are they paying you for it?
I really don't know what you're talking about.
What about the letter that was laying around your place? I suppose I invented it.
I'm not saying that, but perhaps it wasn't for me. Do you really think that anyone would waste their time teaching a simple peasant to read? No, sir. If you found the letter addressed to me, it means that someone is trying to fool you.
The evidence stands up. He's talking sense. Furthermore, only one person knew that I was on the trail of the stone. I must return to see Babu in order to set matters straight. I could take a look in her Venetian cabinet. That would certainly be the place she would hide something. It's the letter of introduction that I gave to Babu on arrival. But who could have written it? That's just what I thought. The letter contains another message. Everything is going as planned. Put it in a safe place once the king has left. Your guest will make an ideal culprit. But what does it mean? What does she want to have me accused of?
What are you doing there, Valdo? I won't allow you.
I've discovered the truth about you. You fooled me completely. Can you tell me for what plot I'll be the ideal culprit?
I'll tell you everything, but you must know that I had no choice. They blackmailed me. A long time ago, I knew the Emperor Charles V, the sworn enemy of the King of France. I don't know how the news got here or who is using it against me, but someone has threatened to disclose this old relationship to the king. François I purchased the Mona Lisa shortly before Leonardo's death and left it here in the chapel.
The Mona Lisa's just below?
Yes, until this morning. I was ordered to hide it in the dovecote where someone will come to collect it tomorrow night. I didn't have any choice, Valdo. Try to understand.
You're asking too much of me, madam. You help a stranger to carry off the Mona Lisa and then have me accused of theft? And you want me to understand?
Valdo, please.
Goodbye. I think we've said enough. Undoubtedly, other surprises must be in store. I thought Babu was an ally and Satana an enemy. When all's said and done, one cannot trust appearances. My position is increasingly difficult. If I want to escape, I must find the Codex and prevent the Mona Lisa from being stolen. I'll have to find a way of distracting the guards if I want to reach the other part of the garden. I've got enough. too dangerous, I'll be noticed. With a little luck, I should be able to pass by without being seen. The guards certainly won't be expecting me to travel by boat. It's too dangerous, I'll be noticed. Very well. Now I'll have to find a way to put it in a safe place and escape before the thief comes to take it. Unless I replace it with a copy. Francesco dismissed me from his workshop for having copied one of the master's drawings. However, I'm sure he'd support me if he knew the circumstances. Copy the Mona Lisa. Now that's a challenge.
Is anyone there?
Oh, it's heavy, but I should be able to move it by using a lever. Sorry, but your clothes might come in very useful.
What are you doing there? You should be watching the canals.
Leave me alone. I know what I've got to do.
All right, don't get worked up.
I just need to stretch the cord and the job will be done. It's an ideal reference grid for painting a portrait or a faithful copy of an original. The best way to reproduce Leonardo's sfumato is to use a similar technique to his. Now that the main areas of colour are in place, I simply have to work with the glaze to bring out the model and details. It's all right like that, though perhaps I need to change the colour a little. It's all right like that, though perhaps I need to change the colour a little. Perfect. I finally succeeded. I think it'll be difficult to tell the difference between them. You were right, Saturnau. I know who was given the task of watching me.
Madam, I suppose.
Quite right. You're more astute than I thought.
Besides myself and her, there's hardly anybody else at the manor. I mean, until the arrival of the guards.
I can't hold on any longer, Saturnau. I'll never succeed in solving Leonardo's puzzles in time. I'll end up in the hands of the guards outside.
You're losing your morale, sir. You're much closer to the goal than I expected.
Pardon?
It's high time to tell you the truth. I was Leonardo's valet for many years, and before he died he entrusted me with an important mission. The legend is true. He did hide a manuscript in these walls. To prevent it from falling into just any hands, he invented puzzles, codes for protecting access to it. My role was to deliver the last key to he who understood them, and to my great astonishment, it appears to be you. The degrees, Valdo. You must subtract 10 from the stars, then from the planets, and add as many to the moon.
It's locked. The door to the chapel is closed. Have you got the key?
No, only Madam has the key. Now is the moment to settle your accounts.
Why did Leonardo entrust this secret to you rather than to Melzi?
Francesco already had his hands full with the treatise on painting, and Leonardo thought that his secret would be better guarded here by Francois I and I, rather than in Italy, where he also had enemies. But perhaps it was a mistake. The proof is, I suppose you're here on behalf of Florence.
I have no idea who sent me, or who's using me, to be more precise.
Many people could be interested in the Mona Lisa, Valdo. From Florence to Charles V's empire. Many would pay dearly to possess it. As for the manuscript, even if it wasn't what your employer was really seeking, it would be very unfortunate for him to lay his hands on it. The main thing is to take the manuscript far away from here and ensure that the Mona Lisa doesn't leave the manor. Those behind this are not important. They're powerful, but you can prove you're more cunning than them.
Valdo, I didn't think I would see you again.
I shouldn't have lost my temper, but you have to admit that my anger was justified.
It's true, I can't blame you, though you should know that I never wanted anything to happen to you.
Go, forget what's happened. I don't want to quarrel with you. In fact, I need your help. I must enter the chapel. According to Satana, you're the only one to have the key.
It's true, here it is.
This chapel is so beautiful. It's not surprising that Leonardo chose it as the hiding place for his codex. The problem now is to find it. That is where the Mona Lisa should be, before Babu moved it. This scepter is superb. It can't be here by chance. Exactly like the one on the king's signet ring. Great, here's my messenger. Go, take this ring to the Chateau of Amboise. Hector must be informed as soon as possible. Hector will certainly come via the underground passage. I could go and meet him.
So you've done it. You've found the notebook.
Hector, is it you?
Yes, it is.
You merge well with the darkness of the passage. I might have mistaken you for one of the men outside.
I'm not here to be noticed, sir. I assume you have contacted me because you have the codex and know a little more about who is behind this plot.
Yes, I found the notebook. Here it is. Put it in a safe place. It's far more precious than we thought. As for the investigators of the plot, I still don't know who they are, but I do know that they intended to steal the Mona Lisa left here by the king from the chapel.
Is it still there?
No, but don't worry. I have a plan to stop them. I'll replace the painting they intended to steal with a fake.
An ingenious idea.
The king told me that you'd help me to escape. Have you got a plan?
No, not yet, unfortunately. I thought we could leave by the underground passage, but I was followed on arriving and had to set off a landslide to prevent them from catching me. We'll find another way to get you out of here.
I've done it. Thanks to your indications, I've found Leonardo's notebook.
Very well. Then you must not stay here any longer.
I thought of using the flying machine.
That's a good idea, but I'm afraid it's damaged. You should be able to repair the broken wing with this.
Thank you.
It's nothing, Valdo. I know that it would have pleased Leonardo to see a handsome young man sit astride his invention and fly away with it. But be careful. I won't let you escape so that you can sell the codex to the first bidder. I've known men like you. Half honest, half thief. The greatest and worst of them was called Saleh, and he left the boat just before it sank. It was the 1st of May, 1519. Leonardo died the day after, a little over 3 years ago. When his disciple had left the room, Leonardo took advantage of his absence to entrust me, his valet, with his greatest secret.
I haven't any more time to lose. I'm going to die soon, but I must do one last thing. I have hidden a manuscript of the utmost importance in the manor. It gives the descriptions of the science practiced in classical times by Archimedes, Hero, and others. These writings are precious and have been kept secret so that they do not fall into the hands of the many fanatics that have so often attempted to silence science. One day, I hope, someone will be worthy enough to find them, protect them, and hand them on so that they will never be lost. That is why I have left behind me many clues and enigmas that only someone who has succeeded in learning from Francesco and the King of France can understand. However, neither of them knows about it. It is to you, my loyal valet, that I entrust this secret, along with the last clue that leads to the Codex.
It's fascinating. How could he have got hold of such a treasure?
It's not important. Now you understand the importance of your mission, your inheritance. It's now up to you to protect the notebook and the secrets it contains.
I would like to, but it's Hector who has it. Francois I asked me to entrust it to him.
It's out of the question to let him have it. You cannot refuse your role. Even the king has no word to say in this. No matter what the cost, you must recover it. I shall look after informing His Majesty.
Thanks again, Saturnau. I would never have succeeded without you.
I certainly wouldn't contradict you, young man. Let's go now. As soon as you've spotted it, I'll mount the flying machine on the gangway. It's the only place from which you can take off. I almost forgot. We need something to hide your flight. A smoke screen. I'll have to prepare one for you. Put it near the machine. I'll take care of the rest. Good luck, Valdo.
It looks as if it's ready. That's perfect. This time it appears to be complete. It remains to be seen if it can fly. All that's left now is to leave a smokescreen for Saturnau. Hey, what's happening? It must be Hector. Unfortunately, he'll never give me the manuscript without being ordered to by the king. I don't have any choice. I'll have to take it back by force. Hector must be on the other side of this wall. If I manage to get through that way, I should be able to surprise him and recover the manuscript.
There, that's it at last. I've made Francesco my main heir. However, it is to you, a person I don't know, that I leave my most precious treasure. It was given to me by my master Verrocchio, who was given it by his own master. This manuscript has been passed down through history, since classical times, to you. Compiled by Hypatia of Alexandria, a mathematician and philosopher, these pages are all that survive from the thousands that constituted the wealth of the great library of Alexandria. Naturally, they have been a wonderful source of inspiration, though what I discovered went far beyond my wildest dreams. This manuscript contains the secret hiding place of the most precious treasure of all. Men and women who were able to foresee the wars of classical times put the most valuable items of the Museum of Alexandria in a safe place. And now it is on you that the duty of protecting them befalls.
Babu, it's done. It's time for me to go.
I'm happy that you've managed to escape the guards.
I still haven't succeeded yet. I still have to leave the manor.
I know, but you've managed so well up to now. There's no reason why you shouldn't avoid them one more time.
I hope you're right.
What about Leonardo's manuscript? Have you found it?
You're incorrigible. Still as curious as ever.
I understand, Valdo. Don't say anything. Take your secret with you.
You couldn't have said it better, my dear.
I hope you don't feel too badly towards me for having put you in such danger. I never wanted to.
It's forgotten.
Thank you, Valdo. But please, I've one last favor to ask of you.
I'm listening.
Take me with you.
But Babu, it's too dangerous. I'm not even sure that Leonardo's flying machine can really fly. Anyway, your place is here.
I'm prepared to take the risk. That's not the question, Valdo. I just want to know whether you want me to come with you.
With pleasure. Hurry, Babu. There's no time to lose. Satana is a man worthy of trust. The machine is there just as he promised. Now we have to find out if it works.
Unfortunately, you won't have the opportunity to know.
Hector, what are you doing here?
I've come to recover the manuscript that you dared to steal.
Hold on, you don't understand. If the king knew what this notebook contained, he wouldn't prevent me from leaving with it.
I'm sure you're right, but he doesn't know, and it is with me that you must deal. I obey no man, not even the king. I knew that this adventure would be highly profitable. One of the most famous paintings in the world, and the heretical manuscript hidden by Leonardo. I'm in the process of pulling off one of the best subterfuges of my life. And it's all down to you, Valdo, and the short-sightedness of Francois I, who took me for his confidant.
You have no idea what you're doing, Hector. I'm sure it isn't you who's responsible for such a stratagem. Do you really believe that those behind all this would allow you to leave just like that, in perfect health and with all these treasures?
Don't try to frighten me, Valdo. I was able to trick the King of France. Nobody can stop me now. Those who wish to recover the manuscript will simply have to pay the price.
You're too naive. They'll never let you live. You know too much.
You're mistaken. It's you who are going to die.
I had to hear him to believe it. Hector, a traitor. Here we are. All right. That is, until someone else comes along. Valdo, it's time for you to go and put the manuscript somewhere safe. You're worthy of the trust I placed in you and of Leonardo's heritage. I see that you've also won Babu's heart. Take care of her, Valdo, and farewell.